What is going on, guys? Basically, I wanted to do a quick, well, hopefully it's sort of quick, breakdown of a rig that I picked up from a remote location. I built this rig probably about 4 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that. And it's been running. It was running ever since, but the power at the remote location was just too expensive, so we had to shut it down, bring it here, hopefully get it back up and running. But this one was stacked with another rig. Let me, I'll bring up the camera here. So this rig was stacked with another rig, and this one was on the bottom, so this one was close to the floor. And because of that, it's quite a bit dirty compared to the one that was on top of it. So basically that's it. I'm probably not going to talk that much. I'm just going to do it. I mean, I'll probably describe some of the things I'm doing, I guess, maybe, but I don't know. I'll probably have to switch back and forth between the cameras and stuff. I've got like this view here, so that's probably a good one for now. And I got a front view like that, so I'll just leave it like that for right now. But basically, I just want to take the rig apart. I'm going to take it all the way down, like completely. I'm not going to disassemble the frame, but I'm going to take everything out of it and clean. Like the GPU fans have some pretty heavy dust on them. The location that the rig was at had they had pets, so there's a little bit of that in here, but it's not too bad. I did want to get it cleaned up though, so that's basically where we are at. So I'm going to start by taking the front fans off here. It's just a little Allen screw on the back. Maybe later on, or probably during the assembly part of this, I'll which is going to be after, like I'm going to, if you weren't there for the stream last night, the random coin mining stream show, what I was saying was what we'll do is I'll tear the rig apart, and then we'll do the normal show at 9:30, and then we'll watch Brandon Coin. I think he's got a video tonight. I don't know if he's back or not, but I think he's got a premiere or something. And then after his is done, then we'll do like an assembly, like a complete crypto chill. I can't remember what somebody came up with a name of it. I don't remember what it was now, but I might have to look that up. It was something like Random Crypto Chill Friday or something like that. And I've already got a drink. I've got a Fireball and sweet tea. I know that sounds crazy, but that's, if you haven't tried it, if you like Fireball and you like sweet tea, you should put them together because it's pretty good. And this rig, I built it. I mean, normally, listen, this is not me. This is not my style right here. let me switch to the front camera here. This is not something I would do. I wouldn't leave it like this, but in this case, we were kind of in a hurry to get it built, put together, you know, running up and running, and then at the remote location. So I kind of threw it together pretty quickly and just got it up and running, and that was it. Oh, I did want to show y'all too. Let me switch to desktop here. This monitor is so far away from me. I wanted to show y'all that I did get it up and running. I powered it up earlier. Right here it is, and it wasn't. I don't think I ever got it all the way up in my. That's right. It needs an update to Simple Mining. I was running Simple Mining OS on it, so it needs to be updated, and we'll do that after the, you know, after we put it together, after we put it back together. So for now, it's just tear it apart. But I did want to show y'all that it was actually running. I can turn it on, I guess, and show you that it'll actually come up and run. So I'll do that before we take it apart. I already unplugged the fans and stuff, but oh, you know what? It's not going to power up because I disconnected the power to the server PSU. So never mind. Well, I guess I can throw that back together. Haha, Molex. Love them. Oh, come on. That good? Let's see if that's good. There we go. Golly, there's a fly in here. It's driving me nuts. Alright, so all the fans came on. I just want to show you that it's actually, you know, up and running on Simple Mining. As far as just talking to the site and, you know, report and basically trying to load, but it won't. Whatever I was mining Haven with it, and it just needs a newer image, newer Simple Mining OS image, because the one that's on here is 5 months old, 5 or 6 months old, something like that. Maybe it'll come up. I don't know. It did earlier. Because that was not listed there, you know. And the way this works with Simple Mining, if you're not familiar, whatever is registered with the site, like if you ever connect a rig to the site, Simple Mining, and if it's ever showing up in here, basically the way it identifies the rig is by the MAC address of the network card. So whenever I booted this up, even though it had been off for months, or not months, but about a month, it just popped right up in there. It had the same name, the same old name, everything was the same. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of sort of a benefit, I guess. So if you ever swap out your motherboard or your network card, however your your configuration is, then you got to remember that it's not going to be registered with Simple Mining. It would show up as not configured or something like that. I can't remember the name, what it actually says. I don't think that it's not going to come up, I guess. Let's see if it's even doing anything here. Maybe, oh, you know what? I probably just need to refresh. Maybe. No. That's weird because it looks like it's actually talking. I mean, it's got a display up here, but I don't know if this was like just stuck there from before or what. Alright, well, nonetheless, you can see that it was in there. Yeah, weird. Let me power it off and power it back on again. I just want to see if this right here changes at all. I just powered it off, powered it back up, just to see if there was any change in the console screen here. I don't think there's going to be, but we'll see. Doesn't look like it. I'm probably just being impatient, but and this is something that happens sometimes with Simple Mining too, is the way, like, if I have this symptom right here where it looks like, because I don't have a monitor connected to this, I could probably do that real quick. Let's see if this monitor cable is long enough. No, not gonna be. Oh, there it goes. Okay. All right. So it did come up. All right, great. But anyway, so you can see right here, just took a little while, I guess. You can see right here that, well, you will see in a moment that it's going to say, it's going to have a weird error about, you know, whatever. I can't remember what it actually says, but. Oh, wow. You know what? Earlier it was trying to update the kernel of the version of Simple Mining, and that's whenever I got an error. And now it probably, after a reboot, it probably fixed it, you know, after it relaunched. So that's probably why. Okay, so great, it's working fine now. All right, make a liar out of me. That's cool though. So now you can see it's definitely working. So then we will just go ahead and shut it down and start taking it apart. Let me go over the hardware let me take this off first, and then we'll go over the hardware. Just kind of talk about what, if I can remember what this rig what all this rig has. I don't know if y'all remember, but they had this deal with ASRock. I think they're called Phantom Gaming RX 580s. I don't remember the whole name. But basically they had a deal where you bought, I think it was on Newegg. It might have been Amazon, but I think it was Newegg. Where you buy the GPU and they give you a motherboard with it. So these are like co-owned. I don't own this rig outright. There's other owners. I hope y'all can hear me all right. Let me know if you can hear me all right. What's so funny? But basically they gave you, with the GPU, they gave you an AB350, AB350 Pro 4 motherboard. Not bad. Actually, I'm showing the wrong camera here. Not too bad. I think it's about $79 brand new. So pretty good deal. You know, I think the GPUs were $299 or $289 or something like that at the time. This was months ago. So, you know, you figure basically we were getting them for $200, the GPUs, if we sold, you know, the motherboard for what we paid for it, or for what it was going for on Newegg. It's been a while since I've done any hardware, so this is going to be interesting. So yeah, these are ASRock. It's something like Phantom Gaming RX 580s. I just don't remember the actual name. I could probably find out pretty quick. Let me look it up so I don't. Just a second. I'm just trying to find the actual name of the GPUs. It's ASRock Phantom GXR RX 580, 8 gig. So ASRock Phantom GXR RX 580, 8 gig OC version and all that stuff. So last night or yesterday sometime I was troubleshooting that other rig. Remember I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but I did a video on the a bad riser situation, and I was explaining how that particular GPU wasn't like this bar right here on this rig, this type of rig. It's like a Veta 8 GPU rig. This one's 8, the other one's, mine are 6. But basically, this bar can go either in the back, like it is here, or in the front. You flip the whole thing over and just install it a different way, and and this bar could actually be underneath of the risers, right? But if you do it like that, then you can't just swap out a riser without taking the GPU out. So it's kind of like personal preference, like what you want to do, you know. You probably, I like being able to just pull the riser off like this after I unlock it, right? Now I've got the riser, I can swap out the riser if I've got a bad one. You see, because the bar is in the back of the GPU, it's just holding up the rear of it. If you put it the other way and it's underneath of the GPU, then you wouldn't be able to do that. You'd have to take the whole GPU out first. So it's just something to note if you ever, use this type of frame. All right, so good grief. Let me stop talking and get to work here. I could just go on and on and on. So yeah, well, I was going to talk about the hardware, so I guess I could finish that. So it's an 8 GPU, 8 ASRock Phantom GXR RX 580s, and you can see, probably see, hopefully you can see that there is quite a bit of dust buildup on there, just on the edges of the fan. It's not bad, but you know what? It's been off, and I was like, it would be kind of cool to just go through like a video of disassembly and then reassembly, because basically the reassembly is going to be like building a rig, right? So that's basically what we're going to do. And what I was thinking about doing, like I was saying earlier, was taking it all the way down, motherboard, CPU cooler, all that stuff off of it, and then really starting from the very beginning, RAM out of the motherboard and all that stuff. So I think I'm going to do that. So let me find somewhere to place this. These cards are okay. They are quality-wise, not so much. And I just mean build quality. I don't mean like actual operations. Operations, they're great. They run a little hot. They don't have a back plate. There's no back plate. They run a little bit hotter than normal, like the Gigabyte GPUs that are over there on the other rig. But what I don't like about them is they are flimsy. So like if they're in the rig like this, I might be able to show you. Let me wait until I get over here a little bit closer, so I can just show you right now. But I don't know if you can see like the wiggle here. Now the bracket is completely secured, right? Let me switch to the other camera here. Hang on. So this bracket right here is tightened down, right? All the way. But if you look right here, like this whole little bracket right here, it flexes. Like this whole board flexes. And I don't like that. Like the MSI Armor Mark IIs, they're solid, super solid. Even the Gigabytes are super solid. This one is just kind of, you can just tell there's just a little bit of less quality, in my opinion. I mean, somebody might love them, but they just seem to be a little bit flimsy with this front bracket, but not terrible. Yeah, maybe I'll rename the stream. I might do that. But anyway, so they're pretty decent cards. I mean, they run good. They took BIOS mod, the one-click BIOS mod, pretty easy. No problems there. And there's just a single 8-pin power, so they're don't require a whole lot of extra cabling or anything like that. yeah, rebuilding a mining rig. That's true. That's essentially what we're doing, right? Not yet, because this is just the disassembly. I'm not gonna assemble it until later, so that'll be a whole different stream. And I don't know if y'all know this or not, but if you've ever built a rig, but these risers come with, ow, that hurt. These risers come with a little pad underneath them. You see it fell, one of them actually fell on the motherboard, but they're just kind of glued to the bottom like that. And if you have it setting, like if you have this bar, forward, like I was talking about earlier, and it's setting on it, then it'll pretty much stay there. I mean, it might bend down like this a little bit, but if you don't, like if you have them hanging like this and unsupported completely, then you're going to find these all over the place. You'll find them on the motherboard, you'll find them on top of the power supply, on the floor, whatever, because they're just going to melt off, So normally what you do is you just go ahead and just remove it as you're installing them. I mean, I guess you could probably maybe use some different glue, some better glue or something, and leave them on there, but pretty much all of these are missing. But if you look at if I show you the Gigabyte rig over there, where they're actually sitting on the bar, then most of them are still in play, still intact. That's weird. This one right here was still on there and everything was fine. And you know what? It's probably because the PSU is right here and the fan of the PSU is directly underneath it, so it was probably keeping it a little bit cooler than the rest of it. That's the only thing I can think of, because it's still on there. That's strange. Because usually it would be off by now. So, kind of funny. I can't really see the chat, guys, so I have to kind of stop and look down there. It's on kind of a small monitor. I could probably bring it. I'll bring it up on my bigger monitor so that I can see it in a moment. Let's see here. Oh. All right. Still going here. Disconnecting all the power and data from the risers. If y'all want like close-ups of anything, just kind of holler at me on the chat there. I can't really get close. I've only got the two like regular webcams, so I can't do a whole lot of like super close-up or anything. But I could maybe get a little bit closer. So I'm using 6-pin here, and you can see like this is actually 8-pin cable. It's a splitter, and you can make it clean by going ahead and connecting the because it's a 6x2 basically, right? I think that's what they're called. So it's got the 2 extra ones, you know, in case you need it for 8-pin. But if you slide it on there, and you can kind of keep it attached, okay, then you can still plug it in even though it's attached. So that just makes it a little bit cleaner looking, you know. You don't have this thing dangling down. Oh, wow, this one wasn't... Did I put that one on there, or was that one still on there? I don't know. No, I didn't put it on there. So here's another one that was still on it. And you know what? This one, well, that fan doesn't blow up, though, does it? And actually, neither does that one. But it probably does create a little bit more airflow. So this one was probably right above the CPU fan. Strange. Don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it's odd that, you know, there's a fan here and a fan here, and those were the two that were still connected, or still on the, still attached. Oh no, I'm not going to be first today. All right, Bitcoin Jake, I hear you. No problem, man. See, look, here's one from, it's just sitting here, sitting on the motherboard just like that. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm doing a complete disassembly, so I'm doing all the cables and not leaving anything connected, so that whenever we put it back together tonight, it will be like we just pulled everything out of the box. And this will be good for me because it's been a few months since I built something. Since I built a rig. Yeah, and this one does have a 1200 watt server PSU, the HP model. We're going to put a nice little platform underneath it whenever we rebuild it, instead of these zip ties that's on here. So we'll get rid of this junk here. You know, it's the 1200 watt version, but if you're running it on 110, 115, it's only going to be 900 watts maximum. So keep that in mind if you purchase one of those. Do everything here, splitters and everything. I need to find another place for all this stuff though. I had on this rig, I had the first 2 GPUs over here were running off of this desktop PSU, and then the other 6 were running off of the server PSU. Oh, right on, Crypto Cruising. Glad you can make it, man. Has anybody in the chat ever used one of these server PSUs with the breakout board on it? That was kind of loose. So something I noticed is a lot of people. Let me bring this a little bit closer here. I'll switch to this one in just a moment.